Hi, I'm Steve Callaway, Hillsboro's mayor, here with another edition of Community Conversations. This one is different in several ways. One is I have just one guest. The other way it's different is it's the last time that I will offer myself or present myself to you as Hillsboro's mayor, because in a few weeks we will transition over to our new mayor who's with us today, current city councilor, beach base, but mayor-elect. And I love how that sounds, although I think just for this visit, we're going to call Beach and Steve. It flows easier. So thank you all for joining us and being a part of this community conversation. So Beach, you have been on council for 6 years, and I am very grateful to you for your service and grateful that I've been able to overlap with you for 6 of my 8 years as mayor. So how does that sound to be Hillsboro's next mayor, mayor-elect, Mayor Pace?
It's exciting. I'm excited for the role.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been preparing for a while, but there's also the responsibilities that come with it. So for every person that says congratulations, I'm also spending time in prep, right? In meetings, et cetera. So but the overall sentiment is I'm really excited.
Good. And so what excites you the most?
Well, I love Hillsboro, and I love representing Hillsboro externally. And so I'm excited to do that more. As a counselor, I've had opportunities here and there to do it. But as mayor, those opportunities will open up even further. And what I'm most excited about is bringing resources back to Hillsboro, right? Getting opportunities, funding, whatever it may be, to serve the community members in Hillsboro.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now, like me, we are both transplants to Hillsboro. For us, it was 96, so almost 30 years ago. How many years ago was it that you and your wife came to Hillsboro?
Well, we started researching in 2011 on where we wanted to go in the United States, looking at cities all over the country. And we landed on Hillsboro. We actually did 2 recon missions, right? Came up and met people in Hillsboro and immersed ourselves in the area and just fell in love with Hillsboro. So it was 2012 when we moved up.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now, not everybody would describe visiting a prospective city as a recon mission. So that's a hint in your background. Tell us about your background, if you would.
Yeah, sure.
And about your family as well.
Yeah. So I grew up on the East Coast, went to West Point, which is a military academy.
Okay, now where on the East Coast?
Jersey.
Jersey. Okay, there's the East Coast. And there's Jersey.
And there's Jersey.
And there's Jersey. You are a Jersey girl.
Yes, I am. Yeah. And I enjoy the Jersey Girl pizza too.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
So I grew up in Jersey, went to West Point, which is the oldest military academy in our country. Afterwards, served in the U.S. Army and enjoyed my time there. I served both domestically and overseas. And then after that, worked in corporate America for a while, for about a decade, learning sales and marketing and finance and all that work. And then met my wife in California, and we've been together for 22 years now. And we have 2 kids.
Great.
And I've been in what I call the social impact sector, or nonprofit, for the past 17 years.
Very good.
Yeah.
And so your kids are high school, college?
Yeah, so we have 2 kids. Our daughter Aiden is a college sophomore, and our son Connor is a high school senior.
So there is a lot, that you are, that you've been managing, if you will, and now, on top of that, become the time demands and the responsibilities of the mayor, which again are exciting. You have a full plate. How do you manage it all? It's a question that we ask a lot of people, right? Because we probably want to know, we want to glean, what is your, formula for success as you balance it all? Yeah.
Well, thanks for asking. I love service. I love giving back to communities. I think it's everybody's responsibility personally. If you can, you should. So I've been giving back for a long time, since I showed up here. Volunteering in schools, volunteering with the city, volunteering for campaigns to make sure that I understood as much as I could about the city of Hillsboro. But as far as balancing it all, I've been balancing it all, right? As a mom, as an employee, as a leader at my office, but then also as a city councilor and serving on different committees and commissions here with the city. So I feel like I've been doing it and it's been working well. It's also easier with a very understanding and supportive partner, as you know.
Yeah.
And my kids are older, so that makes it easier, right?
Well, and in managing a full schedule, you had to do that at West Point as well. I mean,
I've been doing this for a while.
Exactly. I mean, so it is, this kind of discipline has been ingrained and has paid off in wonderful ways to the benefit of our community.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah.
I appreciate that.
So you were elected in November of 18 and took office in January
2019
of 19. Okay. And so then about a little over a year later, we have a global pandemic.
Yes.
And
we sure did.
so, the majority of your first term was under that kind of a cloud. And, so were there any lessons, that you learned or maybe lessons you brought, to that situation?
Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like we know that when people come together in good faith, that good things can happen. And the pandemic affirmed that, right? We made decisions on council to serve people in our community, to help small businesses, for example. We did that. It helped. It worked. So what was affirmed for me was that when people come together with a common goal in mind, they can achieve that goal. And that's what we did in the pandemic, is served our community in different ways to make sure we met them where they were at while they were going through the pandemic.
And I think part of what, the satisfaction of that I took is that it wasn't one silver bullet, with one solution. I mean, it was, I guess, silver buckshot, where, this worked for this situation and this business. This is what we did for these folks who needed food. This is what we did for people who needed rent or mortgage relief.
Yeah, rent assistance, utility assistance, shelters. Yeah, we did a lot.
Yeah, so well done. And so any principle from that going forward that you're going to use as mayor, not in another global pandemic, right?
No,
we certainly hope, but just, in working with others and in leading the city.
I would just take forward that have faith in the community, right? Which I felt like I always have. I mean, we moved here for a reason. We chose Hillsboro to live and raise our family. So trusting in the fact that the people of Hillsboro are wonderful and they care about our community, and it shows.
Yeah. And how cool is that you chose Hillsboro and Hillsboro subsequently chooses you?
Yeah,
kind of full circle.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a lightning round for you.
Lightning round.
Okay. Your favorite thing about living in Hillsboro?
The people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite community event?
I have a lot, but I love Pride. I love Oktoberfest. I love El Grito. I don't think I can name just one.
Okay.
I love going to them all.
Nice. That, maybe his favorite community event per month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite park?
Oh, Jackson Bottom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Favorite food?
Popcorn.
Okay. Buttered or not?
Oh, butter and salt.
Okay.
Yeah. The kettle corn, no.
No white cheddar or anything?
No, I'm a purist.
All right. Very good. Favorite restaurant? So imagine it's a Friday night.
Okay.
And you're going to go out to dinner. Where are you going to go?
Well, there's 52 Fridays in a year, so I'm going to hit all the restaurants I can. I love food, so I can't pick just one right now.
So be a 52
favorites.
Yeah. It's kind of like asking a teacher who's your favorite,
Who's your favorite student, right?
Well, in some cases, it just depends on the mood or the day. But good.
Yeah.
Favorite animal?
Oh, my dog, Jack.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about Jack. A good story.
Oh, yeah. Jack. So we wanted a dog for a long time, and we decided it wasn't smart to add to everything that was going on with our family. But now that our kids are older, my wife and I decided to get a rescue dog. So Jack came to us from Texas. He was driven up over the summer of 2024. And he's just a cute little guy, and he's been through a lot. And but we welcomed him into our home, and he's a great addition.
Good.
So
He's settling in well.
Yes, he is.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, West Point, which is your academy, your university.
Yes.
Ball State, which is where your daughter is attending. Which one is your favorite college?
Right now, Ball State.
Yeah.
Chirp, chirp. Yeah. They take care of my daughter. They do a great job.
Good.
And, that's what we all want, is our kids to be happy and healthy and enjoying what they're doing. And she's doing that at Ball
Nice.
State.
And Ball State is in?
Indiana.
Yeah.
Muncie,
yeah.
Indiana.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, your favorite part of a city council meeting?
I love the public comment. I love hearing from people when they come in and tell us things they need help with or thank us. I really appreciate that part.
And then another one, how many modes of transportation do you have? You have your scooter, you have your little one wheel.
Yeah, so I have a car,
Yeah.
I have my scooter, I have my one wheel, and the scooter and the one wheel are electric.
Yes.
So I prefer to use them when I can. It's usually weather permitting.
Okay.
But yeah.
And so when people look for their mayor instead of a red Prius, should we look for you on your one wheel?
Yeah,
your scooter?
please do. Yeah,
Good.
please do.
And-
Especially in the summer,
And I am grateful that you're always, you have protective gear.
every time.
Yep.
Oh
good
yeah,
for you.
I learned that in the Army.
Good,
You can take
good.
care of yourself, right?
So, you are accustomed to sitting on the side, on the dais. You're now going to slide into that middle chair. And what do you think is going to be the biggest change for you, in these meetings and in that role?
Well, to be in the leadership position, it's one thing to be on council and to be a member of council, and it's another thing to lead. And I've learned that throughout my career. It's one thing to be on a team, and it's another thing to lead a team. And I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Because I heard somebody say once there, you are a counselor, but you are the mayor. And there's, and not to marginalize the importance of any of those roles. But when I became mayor, I understood, understood in a new way what that meant. And so I'm glad you're going to be my mayor. And you will do very, very well.
Thanks. Well, and thanks for your mentorship over these years.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So, all right.
So you've been peppering me with questions.
I have.
Yeah.
So now it's time
Now it's
for
my
you.
turn.
Yeah, please. It's all you.
Great. So you just asked me about changing chairs. And I want to ask you what it was like when you moved over to the mayor's role.
Well, I thought you were going to ask me about what chair I'm going to be in next, and I was going to say lazy boy. I remember, that first meeting, and you'll experience this. We changed the gavel. We had that ceremony, and then, Mayor Willie, walked, out to the chairs, and then I took and sat down for the very first time and looking over. We had a full house, and looking at everybody that was out there. And almost every pair of eyes was looking at me.
Yeah. And that was a controversial meeting too, right? It was full house.
It was full house. A lot of celebration, a lot of excitement. But but we had the issue of Sanctuary City, which was coming forward, and so I just, it reminded me in some ways that my very first day of school, when all the eyes were on me, and I was in charge, of the classroom. All eyes were on me. And I was now in charge of the meeting. Yeah. And
it had to feel different.
Yeah. I mean, take a deep breath, you smile, and you realize that everybody's here, really for the same reason. And that is for a good, strong, vibrant, healthy Hillsboro.
Right.
And remembering that was easy to wade into it.
Yeah, that's good.
And
if they're here, they care. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right. And plus I had a script to follow. So that thanks to Amber and Aubrey, that was good too.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, what are some of the highlights from your time on city council that you keep with you?
Some of the memories that I will take away are, I think of our downtown fire, where, I still remember getting that phone call early in the morning that our downtown's on fire, and, waking up, coming inside, and then looking from my office down below and seeing all the firefighters, and so many other Hillsboro City staff there. And, you're just watching, and then later touring it, but then seeing the immediate response from the community. So in the midst of just great unfortunate circumstances, comes, the rebirth and that positivity. The sanctuary city issue, where there were a lot of protests for it and against it. And I'm very proud of our community that it was a contentious issue, but not a divisive issue. Because a divisive issue would have left us divided as a community when it was done, and it didn't. I'm very grateful. We're a full service city, and I love that about Hillsboro. So we have our own fire and rescue, we have our own police department, parks and rec department, library, you name it, and it's here. And so I'm very grateful that in my 8 years, twice we passed the local option levy. $1.72 per thousand. Thank you very much to our voters and taxpayers. Yes, but that's also why we are recognized for a high quality of life, in multiple publications, from around the country. And so, seeing those results twice, of over 80% approval, it was great.
It says something.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I will remember, seeing people on the street, seeing people, out and about, and having people say thank you. You're doing a great job. Sometimes it's people sometimes it's people you don't, and that because I think we tend to be our own worst critics, and so when you hear that kind of positive feedback. And especially when they give specific reasons why, you do feel affirmed, and that's important.
Yeah. And speaking of specific reasons of people saying thank you, what are some of the accomplishments you're proud of that we've achieved as a city?
And I would say going back to my 14 years, on council, I'm really proud of Highlight. And when we started to put it in, we didn't go where
highlight the broadband.
Highlight the broadband. We put it in where it was needed the most, not where it would pay off the fastest, if you will. And so, in Rockwood, in East Multnomah County, and in parts of downtown, we're the least connected census tracts in the entire metro area. So that's where we targeted. And so then the pandemic hits, and families, individuals that wouldn't have had access to the internet, they did. And so I'm so proud of us. Those are council priorities. Yeah. And so we put, our actions and our money into that. I'm really proud of Future Connect, where we, help pay for 50 high school seniors a year to get a 2-year education at PCC. And that education at Portland Community College, with some coaching and cohorts, means they are able to leave either with certificates or training or their first 2 years of college out of the way, and there's no debt. And, that in college debt can be onerous and burdensome and prevent you from, being able to move, into other parts of adulthood. And so, I'm very, very proud of us, for that. Trying to think, I love our YAC. That's our Youth Advisory Council. So good to invest in those kids. And I know there's some other things, that I'm really proud, of the baseball stadium, getting that done. I'm proud that we handed out $200,000 in service grants. And again, that shows our priorities and values as a community.
Right. We put in the work.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Stages, who's received support from our city over the years. I neglected to mention them in the last community conversations. So I want to say yay for Stages, because what they provide for our youth is critically important in terms of access and support in drama and theater. And that provides opportunities and support and affirmation. And as giving kids early access and support to the arts is critically important.
Makes a difference.
It sure does. Yeah. Okay. Am I going too long with my answers? I have 8 years to look back on. So.
So if you were going to continue on council, what would you want to continue working on? What are things you wish you could keep going with?
The issues of resolving homelessness, because we've seen that grow, not just in Portland, not just in the region, but in Hillsboro too over these last 8 years. So that would be one of the things. I would want to continue to work on our economic development going into the future, as well as increase the inventory of housing. So those are some big ticket items that I'd want to continue to work on.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so you've served in the city for a long time as an educator, and then as a counselor, and then as mayor, and 14 years, right, on council and mayor. What are you looking forward to next? What are you working on next?
So spending time with kids, grandkids, I've been asked to, serve on some boards, and so we'll see, which ones, fit. I know that there will be public service in some ways. Could be boards and commissions, could be volunteering, might be another elected office. So we'll kind of wait and see what unfolds.
Okay.
So
well, I'm looking forward to seeing what unfolds.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. I've still got invitations to come and visit schools to read.
I'm sure you do.
I'm looking forward to that because that is one of the best things is, engaging with kids and helping them understand how local government works, because we do work and we work well, not always easily, but we still work well. And sometimes what they see at the state or federal level, especially, pollutes how they think or sets a filter for how they think things work locally too.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I got a lightning round for you now. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite thing about living in Hillsboro?
It's going to be the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty great.
They just are. Yeah. And I'm also really, grateful that as we have grown since we moved here 30 years ago, roughly 30 years ago, the size of Hillsboro has doubled. But I hear people say, and yes, we acknowledge that there's differences between now and what it was in the 60s. But I also hear people say who move here, it still feels like a small town. And when I see people, gathering at Noble Hop or Pizza Rio or, community things, or in our festivals, Pride Festival, El Grito, the 4th of July parade, picks in the plaza. I mean, so many different places, and the libraries, and you see longtime residents connecting with newer residents, and that's how the fabric of the community becomes knit together and becomes strong. And so I'm really grateful that even though we have continued to grow, people still feel connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So lightning round.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Favorite community event?
I love our Christmas tree lighting.
Oh yeah. Holidays. Yeah. Favorite park?
I love Little Bagley Park, but I also love Oro, our new inclusive playground, and Jackson Bottom, and Noble Woods. I mean, it goes back to the day and the mood and what you feel like really depends. It kind of determines the park that you go to. Yeah, Jack, the Wonder Dog. Yeah, he likes Rood Bridge. Nice. So. Oh yeah, yes. Yeah. Okay, favorite food. Pretty much anything Joan cooks. Yeah. We had a great soup last night, but she makes a great lasagna. I mean, you name it, she's a great cook. Yeah. So whatever's in front of me, that's my favorite. That's my favorite food. And what's your favorite restaurant? I'm gonna piggyback and hijack your answer. There's 52 Friday nights, and so I am, I'll go 52 restaurants. I love our downtown restaurants. We've got some great restaurants in Amber Glen. There's a new Indian restaurant, over in Amber Glen that we've gone to several times. And, I love our restaurants, and I look forward to restaurants being added in South Hillsboro. Oh, I know. Those are going to be good. Yeah. My kids are looking forward to some of those as well. What's your favorite animal? A guinea pig. Okay. Yeah. All right. I know it's a lightning round, but why? Okay. So I had guinea pigs growing up, but then as a teacher, guinea pigs have such great personalities with kids. And so they're, hamsters are nocturnal and they also bite. And so guinea pigs don't bite. They are diurnal. They're awake during the day, and they are just wonderful wonderful little pets to have.
I didn't know I would learn about guinea pigs
Yes.
today.
Oh, they are the best. And, the reason that Joan and I have been married for almost 40 years and, this coming June is that the guinea pigs have only been at school, So, yeah. So,
That's
yeah, I
fun.
love those guinea pigs.
Awesome.
Okay.
And what's your favorite part of a city council meeting?
I love our presentations. When we have people from the community who come and speak and share, when we hear from HLAC, when we hear from our community groups, when, we had Jackson Elementary School Choir come and sing, as we've had stages come, and present, little excerpts and previews of performances. I love the presentations. That gives us a different connection, to our public, than just the public comments. It just gives, and when we get to leave the dais and come down and be members of the audience,
I love that part
and
too.
we look at them, that's very special.
Yeah, that's great. What are your favorite memories while serving as mayor?
Being in the 4th of July parade has been really fun. And
I've always had to walk it. Do I get a ride now?
Yes, now you get to ride it, and be sure to wave as you go by us. And so that is always so fun. And being in a position, whether it's holiday, the Christmas tree lighting, up, on the little rotunda, whether it's being on the stage at El Grito, or the platform, for Oktoberfest, just seeing the crowds of people, and it just gives you such satisfaction because you see us all coming together. Yeah, it's just great. Yeah.
Awesome. So last question, what words of wisdom would you share with us as you wrap up 14 years on council, including 8 years as mayor?
Yeah, so, for the community, there's a saying that I've used, and that is you can pretend to care, but you can't pretend to show up. And you mentioned earlier, people show up, and, and they do. And, and I'm grateful, for that. And I would just ask the, public to continue to show up at councils, but to show up at our festivals and in our, support our small businesses and, our Tuesday and, Saturday markets. And, to having Tuesday nights for Tuesday market instead of a council meeting, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, you'll get your Tuesdays back. Yeah.
And, and we want the public to hold us accountable, right? But I would also ask the public to hold us up. Okay, and not just denigrate us. Okay, so when you hold us accountable, just remember to hold us up as well, in prayers or thoughts, in advice, whatever it might be. But that I would ask that, and I think for you, as our mayor, I would say enjoy it because you get so busy with meetings, you get so busy preparing and studying and engaging that sometimes just to take a step back, like you do when you look out at the thousands of people that are there for the Christmas tree lighting, just remember to enjoy it and soak it in because, we only pass this way once. And, these have been incredible, great 8 years, and I'll never be able to repeat them or replicate them in any other way. So enjoy it because you have been chosen, and we're grateful for you and your leadership and your family, and we're excited for how you will lead and what you will lead us through. I never knew in 2016 all of the things that were waiting. Okay, but we have a great staff and we have great people. And so you don't have to do it alone. And so
thank you.
Thanks
for that advice.
Hey, good luck. You'll do well.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
And thanks to all of you who have joined. This is our 26th community conversation. So we started, in 2022. And so I don't know if you pass a baton, pass a script, or pass a mic, but we'll do that. And Beach will be doing this. I am grateful that we've had millions and millions almost of YouTube views and social media, maybe a little less than that. But, it's now people listen to it as a podcast as well as, watching the videotape. And we've had over 70 guests from a variety of different backgrounds. And you now will be taking this more on the road. And
Yes,
so
I
we
will,
won't
yeah.
be here in our Civic Center in the Shirley Huffman Auditorium, but we'll be rather out and about and connecting with new places and new people in that way. So enjoy this too. It really is fun. And I look forward to watching it. Just as you are watching this, I will be with you, watching from online and listening to it. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, I look forward to all that is in your future.
Right on.
Bet. Thank you and take care.